Now we're going to start working with arrays in PHP, and the way it works is that in order to create an array, you just start referencing and start working with it like this. For example, if you want to have an array called fruits, you say $fruits, and that creates a variable named fruits, and you give it an array index using the index operator, the square brackets like this, and you assign a value pineapple. This creates an array called fruits and assigns the first element, which is the 0th element in the array, the value pineapple. So just as in JavaScript, arrays in PHP start with an index of 0, and you name them starting with $, as you do for variables, simple variables in PHP, and you just reference array elements like this with the square brackets like that, and assign a value like this. So that assigns and creates an array. It creates an array named fruits and assigns the 0th element in the fruits array the value pineapple. And you can also then assign other values as well to other indices. This assigns the value pomegranate to the array index 1 in the fruits array. So the array index 0 holds pineapple, the array index 1 holds pomegranate, the element at array index 1 holds pomegranate, and the element at array index 2 is going to hold tangerine. So as you see, not difficult to create and stock an array with elements in PHP, and then you can even overwrite array elements as you could with any simple variable. You say $fruits2, that refers to the same array element that currently holds tangerine, is now going to hold watermelon. So you are overwriting fruits2 that way with just a simple assignment. And as a matter of fact, you can even do this, $fruits, and then empty square brackets and equals grapes, and that's going to add the next element in the array. So this is going to be element with the array index of 3. And that's a nice feature of PHP. If you just use this empty square brackets like that, it will automatically increment where you are in the array to the next position in the array, and let you assign values to that variable. And then we're going to use a for loop, and we're going to take a look at PHP for loops in a little bit, but briefly they're just very much like they are in JavaScript. I'm going to echo all the elements in the array, $fruits, and then index. This is the loop index I'm going to use, followed by a break to put each of the elements in the fruits array on a different line. And so we're going to take a look at the result now, and you get pineapple, pomegranate, watermelon, and grapes. So you see it's as expected. You have pineapple, pomegranate, the tangerine was overwritten by watermelon, and then the next element is going to be grapes, and that's 3, but you don't even have to put the 3 in. You can just use the empty square brackets to indicate that you want the next available array element. Okay, you can also do more with arrays in PHP. You can use multi-dimensional arrays, and you can use words as array indices. You don't even have to use numbers. So here's an example that keeps track of 2 test scores for each of 2 students, and this is the first test score, and we're going to use a multi-dimensional array, a 2-dimensional array in this case, which has a array index that is a word, Frank, and a second array index that is a word, first, and second. That's for the first test. This is for the second test of the student. These are the test scores. This array is called test scores, and this is Mary's first test score and Mary's second test score. So these are both 2-dimensional arrays. You're allowed to use multi-dimensional arrays in PHP, and you do it using this syntax, square brackets, and the first array index, and square brackets, and the second array index, and so forth, all the way down as many as you have. Then I'm going to display the results of storing this data using this loop, this for each loop. We're going to take a look at how the for each loop works in a little bit, but for now, let's just focus on the test scores array and how you can use text array indices, not just numeric, and use multiple indices as you see that in a multi-dimensional array. And the result is, as you'd expect, test scores Frank first was 95 and so forth. So as you can see, you can work with multi-dimensional arrays in PHP without problem, and you can also use not just numeric indices as you can in JavaScript, but also words as array indices in PHP. It's better to use, if you're going to use a loop, if you're going to use a loop to iterate over an array, of course, it's better to use a numeric index because you can increment that numeric index as you work through the array in your loop, and you can't do that quite as easily if you use words instead as the loop indices.